Hey guys, today we're working with lists some more. Okay, so the lesson that I have I got from this website, which is listed at the top. It says list less than 10. You can look here and find some cool stuff, things to do, but we're going to go over this one. I wrote down what we're going to do in the comments here. It says write a program that can print out all of the elements of a number list that are less than 10. And then I give you a list A, and then it's got some numbers in it. Some of them are less than 10, and some of them are greater than 10. It says make a new list and fill the list with numbers that are less than 10 from list A, and you have to do that with code. And then it also says ask the user for a number and return all of the numbers that are lower than that number. Okay, so it's got three things to do. First off, we want to write a program that can print out all the numbers from a list that are less than 10. Okay, so we'll start with that. One more thing to go over. I did include a link to a website that gives us methods that we can use. Here's that website. Append adds things to a list. Anyway, I'll just let y'all go through it. But if you get confused on what you need to do or what tools you have at your disposal, you can check on that link I put there. I'll also include a link to the YouTube video that I'm recording right now on how to do that up at the top. So there'll be 3 links up there right now. There's only 2. Okay, so let's start with this. It says write a program that can print out all of the elements of a number list that are less than 10. So first off, how do we print the list? Well, you can just say list underscore A. And when we run this program, it's going to just print out every single thing on the list. Okay, so that's pretty simple. But we want to print the number if it is less than 10 and only if it's less than 10. So what I'll start out with is 4. Each one of these things here are elements in the list. A lot of times I'll say 4x in. So 4x in and then list, no capitals. So list A. We want to do something. What do we want to do? Well, we want to just print out that object. So now it's going to go to every item in the list. So it's going to grab the first item in list A, and then it's going to print it. So if I run it, it's going to list each one of those things out one at a time. Now, when do we want to print it? We only want to print it when it's less than 10. So let's add an if statement in here. We'll say if x is greater than 10, then, no, we want to say less than 10. So let's flip that around. Less than 10, we want to print it out. So 4x in list A, so here's our list A. If it's less than 10, print it out. Let's run this. And there we go. We have 1, 1, 2, 5, 8. Those are all numbers less than 10. So that completes the first part of our quest here. Write a program that can print out all the elements of a list that are less than 10. Perfect, we did that. So I'm going to write a little comments here. This is our for loop. Here's my other comment. This is x less than 10. And then if it is less than 10, print out x. Okay, perfect. Even added some comments there. Okay, now it says make a new list and fill the list with the numbers that are less than 10 from list A with code. So this is going to be basically the same thing, but we're going to need to make another list. So let's make another list. List B. It's going to be equal to, and I'm gonna make it blank. Creating a blank list. Now anybody could just type in the numbers there, but we want it to actually do this for us through code. So I've created a blank list, and we're going to fill that up. So we're going to say basically the same thing. For x in list underscore a, we want to do something. What do we want to do? Well, first we want to make sure that the number is less than 10. So if x is less than 10, if x is less than 10, then we want to add it to the list. Now, let's say you don't really remember how to add it to the list. You can just put yourself a placeholder here. Add the number to the list B. So now what I'll do is, so I don't lose my place, I'll try and figure out how would I add this number to the list. So we can go to that web page I linked you guys, and you're looking for something that's going to put something on the list, and that happens to be right up here at the top. It says append X. This adds an item to the list. This is the equivalent to, and then it shows this. So right here it says a dot append, and then it says append, and then they're adding an ant to it. So let's see if we can do that, basically the same thing here. So what we'll do is, if x is less than 10, then we're going to take list B, and we are going to append. And what are we appending? We're going to append whatever that number is. So that would be x. So if the item is less than 10, it's going to add it to the list. And then after we've done that, we just want to print out the list. Now you'll see I'm all the way back to the left. That's going to take me outside of the loop. And I just want to see what did we put inside of list B. So to go over this, we're going to we're going to list A, and we're checking each number. If the number is less than 10, we want to put it on list B. So this will just add that item to list B, and then it'll go again and check the next one. So this checks the first one, then the second, then the third, then all the way till the end, and then just adds them to the list if they're less than 10. Then after you've completed it, it's going to print out the list B altogether. So let's run this program and see. And this first part ran, so it said 11258, and then here we go. We created a totally new list, list B, printed it out. It has all those items that are less than 10 added to it. So perfect. One more. It says ask the user for a number and return all of the numbers that are lower than that number. So basically we're doing like a dynamic kind of thing. We need to get some information from the user, how high of a number basically. So we're going to say, let's say, I'm going to make a variable called checker is going to be equal to 0. We'll start it out with 0. Or you know what, we don't have to do that. We can just say checker is equal to input. What number would you like to check? So there, it's going to ask the user a question. Yeah. And then we want to tell them, I don't know, we'll just leave it like that. Okay, so this will give your person the opportunity to choose a number. So we were saying to start with, we were checking to see is the number less than 10. Basically the user is going to choose the number less than whatever. And you could probably think of a better sentence to put there. So, but anyway, let's do this. So let's say for x in list underscore a, we want to look for a number that is less than whatever the user chooses. So right here it asks them the question and says checker. So we're going to say, is x less than checker? Whatever they chose. And then if it is, we want them to print out x. Okay. Let's see if this works. So just to go over this one more time, it's going to say, what number would you like to check for? And then it's going to go through the list, and it's going to see, is that number less than whatever the user chose? And if it is, it's going to print it out. So if I run this, it says, what number would you like to check? And if I use only, let's say 2, we should only get returned the number 1, because that's the only thing lower than 2 in our list. And it gave me a error. List A is not defined. Oh, capital L, lowercase l. Run this again. 2. And another error. Let's see. Int in a oh, okay, I know. Because whenever we're asking for this, it's turning it into a string, and a string is not a number. So we need to convert our input into an integer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole thing here, and I'm going to convert it into an integer. Whenever you ask the user for information, it always takes it in as a string. All right, let's try one more time. 3rd time's the charm. What number would you like to check for? 2. And boom, it gives us the numbers that are less than whatever they chose, which would be 1. So then let's go up here and look. Let's see, 55 is 89, 34. I'm going to choose 50 this time. So run this again, 50, and it gives me all the numbers that are less than 50. If I run it again, 100, it's going to give me every single number in my list. All right, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys learned something, learned a little bit about lists. I'll see you guys next time. All you need to do is take a screenshot of your code and make sure you send me a link. Click the share button. The link is right here. See you guys later. Stay safe.